All right, guys. Yes, we are back with another one. Happy Wednesday. And I am sorry I've been gone for a couple of days. I've been traveling, came back from the Middle East. But we're here to talk about sick gains and what sectors are primed to absolutely explode coming up here very, very soon as we kick off things coming into altcoin season, as Ethereum dominance starts to creep up. And we're going to tell you today what trends to be looking out for and how to get ahead of the game, because that is always the secret, right? How to get ahead of the narrative to make sure that when everything pumps, you already have your bags locked. So guys, if you're excited for today's show, do me a favor, destroy that like button. If you're new to the channel, what's up? My name is Chasse. I've been in crypto for 12 years. The purpose of this channel is to help you guys make the absolute most of this upcoming super cycle, because I believe it's going to be one to the likes that none of us have ever seen before. And without further ado, let's get into it, guys. So first thing we're going to do is go ahead and look at the Bitcoin chart. And you can see that we had Bitcoin come all the way up here to 53,000, get rejected. And it's been on a little bit of a downward path, but we're coming back up right now. And I see a lot on the timeline, a lot of videos calling for much, much lower. Me personally, I can't see that happening with inflows. We did have a milder day. We're about to talk about inflows from ETFs in a little bit, but all in all, we've got massive institutional adoption coming in, and I'm not concerned about this at all right now. Let's look at real quick. Let's see how is the Ethereum chart doing. Ethereum, same thing, got rejected off of 3,000. A bit of a pullback, but it's going to break that soon. And as we do, we'll come into altcoin season. So what's been going on with ETFs? As you guys know, Monday was a national holiday, no trading day on Monday, but we still had a net inflow of 137 million. GBTC outflows were 137 million. Oh, sorry, net inflow was about 135 million, I believe, net positive 136 net inflow yesterday, and today we'll see what the numbers are. But there was a lot of concern about GBTC and what might be coming out. It was a relatively mild day, 137 million, as you can see from this chart here. They're still taming down. This is GBTC outflows. One of the not the weakest day, but definitely within the top 5, top 7 of the weakest days of net outflows from GBTC. And the question is on everyone's mind here is, what about the ETH ETF? Are we going to see that happen? Well, we're not quite sure yet, right? And as we get closer, we will see. But it seems like a coin toss at this point. Do we actually need it to see this? I don't know. We have institutional money coming in through Bitcoin. Of course, an ETH ETF would be more positive for altcoins as a whole. We still have the BlackRock, which has this incredible winning streak. Still have application in 576 to 1. And the question is, will that be 577 to 1 with ETH? And we know that, like the question that Eleanor asked over here, will you sue the SEC if the spot ETF, the ETH ETF is denied? And then Dave says, we'll have to wait and see, basically, at this point. So again, it was a net positive day of $136 million. Even on a mild day, that's still very, very bullish. And so we're just seeing the market do what it does. But Will Clemente, one of the famous traders out here on crypto Twitter, thinks that ETH BTC might have its moment here soon. Even though we get the inflows from Bitcoin, it would be interesting to see if ETH breaks this resistance path here in this triangle. If it does, again, coming into altcoin season. So today, in the next, I don't know, probably by the time this video is live, we'll be very, very close to Nvidia making their earnings announcements. If it's positive, Nvidia is now valued at one of the, I think, top 3 most valuable companies on the planet. And if their earnings are positive, then I expect to see a reflow back into the AI coins. And I'm still doing my deep dive, guys. I told you to do a deep dive in a BitTensor. I started diving into it. Seems incredibly positive and bullish, but I really want to understand it because, because if I do deploy in a BitTensor, it'll be a hefty bag. But it does seem quite positive. There's a lot of other players coming into the scene as well that might be a better opportunity. I'm trying to assess everything as we go forward here, but you can see a significant pullback from the last time we talked about it last week at $666. It's at 579 right now. Market cap dipped below 4 billion. We're at 3.6 right now. And so it might be a good buying opportunity if you're looking for an entrance into BitTensor. I'm trying to assess the legitimacy of the rest of the altcoins. And I know a lot of people say, who cares? It's AI. It's going to pump anyway. And while that's true, I want to bring you, if that's the play that you guys want to take, fine. But as far as me getting behind certain projects here, I want to be able to stand behind them and tell you guys that, that I was very bullish, I got excited, and that I went into it. So am I bullish on the AI narrative? Yes. I mean, you can see that AOS, which is truly doing a lot of AI stuff, the team's been on it for a long time. It's continuing to pump quite well. Now at 23.5 cents. I think when we covered it last time it was like 16 cents. First time we covered it was like at 10 cents or something. So this is one that I think we'll keep an eye on. Definitely legit projects, unlike many of the quotes AI. This is AI plus DeepIn. It's just not new and shiny, and that's kind of the uphill battle. But as you guys know, we launched it on paid network, on paid ignition. So let's hear Michael Saylor, because I got somebody asking me a question in the comments the other day about Link and my exit strategy with Link. And part of me feels like Michael Saylor, and part of me feels like I might try to time the top. Let's have a listen.
But let's talk about your existing holdings. As I mentioned in the intro, now worth around $10 billion. You have paper gains of about 70% or so, which a lot of people would like to see that sort of return. At any point, would you sell? When would it make sense to take profits there?
Well, I've famously said I'm going to be buying the top forever. Bitcoin is the exit strategy. It is the strongest asset. So what we see right now is the Bitcoin has just emerged as a $1 trillion asset class. And it's alongside names like Apple and Google and Microsoft. But the difference between Bitcoin and the Magnificent Seven is Bitcoin's an asset class. It's not a company. There's not enough room in the capital structure of those companies to hold $10 trillion or $100 trillion worth of capital. So Bitcoin's competing against gold, which is 10x what it is right now. It's competing against the S&P index. It's competing against real estate, $100 trillion plus asset class as a store of value. So we believe capital is going to keep flowing from those asset classes into Bitcoin because Bitcoin is technically superior to those asset classes. And that being the case, there's just no reason to sell the winner to buy the losers.
And that's exactly how I feel on a lot of this stuff too. So, like when people ask this question, I got on a post on Twitter the other day about, when am I going to sell Chainlink? And, as Chainlink starts to go, and I'll do another video on Chainlink soon too, just exclusively, but, they're now doing their general access and starting to put a lot of stuff into production. And that's when we're going to start to see real revenue coming through. And if it does become this kind of interconnected mesh middleware that all financial institutions use to cross-chain messaging value and messages across all different blockchains, then it could just become a universal gas token, as they talk about, which means it's just used as a currency around all financial institutions and blockchains, and therefore there would be no real reason at that point to sell it. I do think that we'll get to a point where some of these protocols go much beyond speculation and go into actual adoption and demand based on real-world demand. And so I think that, this is why I've got huge bags of Chainlink, Bitcoin, Ethereum, things like that, because I think that we eventually will not see this huge, 80% pullback. And so my answer is I just don't know at this point. I'm going to keep watching the markets, and I do have a lot more sophisticated people on the team now helping me to try to make better decisions on, whether to sell or buy or whatever. So I will keep you posted. If you're not subscribed, make sure that you do that so you can understand, if you're interested, what I am doing, what we are doing with our portfolios. So Crypto Kaduna says that there's 3 hot narratives: AI, LM blockchains, and gaming. I think there's more than that, but gaming is what we're going to talk about today. So you can see that in the last bull run, Axie got up to $10.5 billion market cap, and I think the FDV at this point was around 42 billion, right? So when we look at Pixels, which launched a couple days ago and did $1.2 billion in trading volume, today it's at $275 million trading volume. I think that, and $377 million market cap, this thing still potentially has 10, 20, 30x in it if it becomes something like the Axie of this cycle. Will it? I don't know, right? I haven't dug in deep enough, but I just want to point that out to you guys that even though people think, wow, this is like crazy at a $2.5 billion market cap, fully diluted, it's still nothing compared to what we saw Axie, for example, in that 2017 or 2021 bull run, right? With a $42 billion FTV and a $10.5 billion market cap. So Pixels, high FTV, low circulating supply, no major unlocks from private sale or team up until next year. So we still could see this thing run pretty aggressively. Heroes of Mavia, another one that ran like 5x. Now I think it's pulled back a bit here. So I think we have, in the 24-hour. Let's see. So yeah, I mean it had a nice little pullback. Definitely broke $10 and now sitting at $7.30. So will it correct a bit more? I think that just depends on which way the market is going to go. But you can see this thing has real adoption. 1 million global downloads. For Mavia, and this one is a bit something you need to be a bit more careful of because you do have, unlocks starting in July, but is it July or June? Maybe it's June, but they are very, very long, right? So you got like 63 months of unlocks for advisors and for team. Although private sale has started to unlock already, right? You've got no cliff here on private sale. So maybe that's why you're starting to see some sell-off is people taking profits here. I do think though that there are going to be a lot of other really interesting games coming up, and we'll talk about a couple of those here soon that might steal a lot of attention. And of course, we'll cover them in depth when they come to market. Another one that's been popping off a lot, guys, when I talked to you guys about a while ago, is Photo Finish Live, backed by Coinbase. This is, we started talking about this around here. August 28th at about 32 cents. It's now up, almost 3.5x from when we started talking about it. And you have some good statistics, right, about why it's pumping, right? Crown, Photo Finish Live, but why is it pumping? You see the standout stat by far is there's over 300 new stables added within the last 2 days. And these are the kind of charts that you want to see as growth. Right. And even though it doesn't have a lot of attention around it, that seems like it's all over the timeline. It has been consistently growing for a long time. Look, this is the chart that we want to see. Of course, it had a big correction here, but it's back approaching its kind of all-time highs of $1.15, which did it hit it today? Yeah, it hit all-time high today, just a few hours ago. So this one is flying under the radar, in my opinion, sitting at $115 million market cap. This thing easily could have a 20, 30, 40, 50x in this bull run left. And I'm still holding my bags from what I mentioned to you guys back in August, and already up almost over 3x. So congratulations, guys, who have been watching this channel for a while. Very, very good. Aether Games launching on paid ignition here, guys, quite soon next week. And there's a big article that came out today, massive news, where there's this TV show in America called Wheel of Time. It's one of the top TV shows in the world, and Eternity Games has the official partnership to make Cards of Eternity a Wheel of Time game. I think this is pretty huge news. Watch tomorrow as another video comes out, and this is one of the biggest franchises in the world. There's probably going to be, you can see Jens, the CEO of Aether Games, talking about it, and this is why we're really, really excited to offer it to you guys on paid ignition, coming up quite soon. Go check it out over on Ignition, guys. Make sure that you're following us on Twitter over there. And yeah, the more I will talk about a bit more in depth as well as we get closer. But yeah, this thing should do extremely well as we come up here. So another one too is Off the Grid by GUNZILLA, and as you guys know, we are big investors in this project. The reason I wanted to bring it up is because I think that this might be the first game that actually defies Web3 gaming in the way that it will be. And we're just very big supporters of GUNZILLA and Off the Grid. As you know, they have their own Avalanche subnet called GUNZ, and I think there's going to be a lot of stuff happening there. As you guys may or may not know, I've been working closely with the team for a couple of years now, and so there's a lot of stuff I can't talk about, but very, very excited to see the developments of this. I think this thing might be the biggest Web3 game ever. Probably will be, at least of this bull run. And yeah, just excited to work with the team quite close, and I will bring you guys the announcements when I'm allowed to do that. If you guys haven't checked out the Commonwealth free fund, make sure that you go do that. It is live now, so if you guys go and check it out, you can start doing all the tasks that allow you to climb the leaderboard to earn your slice of this $2.4 million VC fund that includes all of these amazing projects. By the time that this video is live, we probably will have finished the second launch party, but Commonwealth itself is doing its TGE next month on paid ignition, and this free fund is going to be amazing. Like, you know, when it comes down to an opportunity to really, really get a good chance of an opportunity and see how the technology works, go check it out. The instructions, make sure you're following Commonwealth here on X and join the launch. Well, you'll be able to, probably this video goes live after the launch party, but I hope that you guys joined us because it's a lot of fun. Blocklords is another one that's getting huge traction, backed by all the best funds in the space, including us. But you've got like you've got Delphi, Bitcraft, Animoca, many more. And also another one that's in the free fund is Nyan Heroes, also backed by huge funds like Defiance, Mechanism, Shima. We also invested in it as well. And yeah, guys, so that's going to be it for the show today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm back now. I got a lot more content coming up this week. We are going deep. I still want to bring you that deep dive on BitTensor and the AI narrative. It just takes time to make sure. I want to have high conviction when I bring it to you guys. But I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.